welcome back to Stationeers. Now, last episode where we left off, we had just automated our solar panels. And in between episodes, I did some mining, so hopefully we won't have to do any mining today. But we'll see what happens. I only got the basic resources, basically. Some copper, some iron, some gold. I found a little bit of silver, so I decided to pick that up, and some coal as well. So what are we gonna do? Where's yeah, let's grab some more food. All right, there we go. Okay, I just swapped over my battery, so that's why that one is low. We actually have a full battery in our suit, so we're good to go. Let's get a little bit more power production going. So I think maybe 2 more solar panels, and I'd also like to go to a bigger battery as well. I think that'd be really good. So let's get this connected back in. Okay, so that'll power up everything. How are we going for resources? There's nothing in there. We've just got a little bit of iron in there, and I just kicked that. God damn it. I need some sort of a storage thing. What are we gonna need? Let's just go and get this. Damn it. Stay there. All right, we need some sort of a storage. What were we doing? Solar panels. Okay, panels. Let's grab some copper. Damn it, we're gonna have to smelt some. Can't wait till we get the proper furnace set up. It's gonna be awesome. There is some batteries in here as well that we could utilize, because I'm not going to use these portable things, mainly because I don't know how they work. Like I said, I've barely scratched the surface of this game. I reckon in 3 episodes we will be up to everything that I've experienced so far. So everything after that is going to be brand new to me, which isn't, yeah, it's not going to be long at all. All right, I'm gonna smelt up some of these resources. How are we going for iron? Yeah, I'll do some more iron as well after we do the copper, and that way you guys don't have to sit here and wait for it. So I'll bring you guys back when this is done. Okay, I'm just gonna put on. Did we just run out of power? God damn it. Ran out of power. Not that this is gonna last very long, but we'll do that for now. Oh god damn it, I've left this machine on like an idiot. That's like 100 watts for this thing to idle, which is pretty substantial. The arc furnace only uses 5 watts when it's in idle, and it flickers up to 100, I think. 100 watts every few game ticks while it's working. Anyway, yeah, I'll wait for this iron to finish. Oh, it's nearly finished. Cool. And then we'll chuck that in there. We'll start that off as well. How's that battery going? Yeah, it's already low. I can see it from here. All right. So if that's the case, we're probably not going to have enough power to do this, but let's try and build a solar panel. We'll swap that over. Hopefully the sun's going to rise soon. What are we at? Sunrise is over there, is it? Yeah, because this is facing east. Yeah, so it's nearly sunrise. This will continue to follow the same path. So even though it can't see the sun, just because this gives a reading of 0 to 180, and then from 180 back to 0. So it follows the same path basically. I accidentally left that running, but that's fine. Would we run out of copper? Okay, that's fine. I wanted 2 more anyway. Next we want a large battery, so a kit battery. Oh, we just ran out of power. God damn it. Well, it looks like we might be getting sunrise very soon. So if that's the case, we should probably get this up and running so we can make the use of the extra power. So we're going to have the data cable on this side. Just like that. We need some glass. God, I can't find anything. Where is that other... Oh, it's in my inventory anyway. I don't even need it. There we go. Get those going. Put those back. Let's get the wrench out because we will need to orientate this. Well, we'll need to orient this to -90 to match the other one. Beautiful. And oh shit, we don't have any cable. We could cut this up. Yeah, I might do that. Let's just drop that battery for now. Because I want to make sure the solar panels are ready to go as soon as we get sunlight. So let's get that spliced in. Oh, that's dumb. This is probably more important, this side here. Because this is where the power comes from. Oh, you know what? We need a little bit of power to run our logic. So that battery there is critical. We could throw that in briefly just as the sun rises. Just to start everything off. There we go. Now we're in the positive. First things first, let's make some more cables before we do anything. So we can get all of them connected up. And let's just drop that battery there for a second. And I've left that machine running. I hope that doesn't bite me in the ass. We'll find out though. Depends on how long I forget about it. God damn, I need one more. Nah, that's all right. We'll use all those. All right, that's enough. Next, make a battery kit. Oh, we need 20 steel. Damn. Well, we're gonna have to get into the furnace a little bit sooner than I thought. That's fine. I wanted to get into alloys anyway, so that's good. Let's get this other battery in. We'll get that charged. We'll just throw this over here for now. I'm gonna wait for this to charge. It won't take long to charge these small batteries. They're very, very quick. Here we go. Throw the large one in there. There's actually a battery charger in here as well. Yeah, there it is. Sure, let's do that. Even if I don't connect it, it's just so I have somewhere to store these batteries so they're not just floating around. And, oh, I need to connect that up. Okay, beautiful. Let's get that going. And we'll eject everything out of that because we need to make a furnace now. A proper furnace. Let's put our tool away. Put the cables away. Not exactly sure what we need for a furnace, but it's fairly early game. It might require gold, but I doubt it's going to require anything more than that. Let's have a look in here. Oops. I did not try to spell something else. No, not the arc furnace, you idiot. Regular furnace. Just iron and copper. Quite a lot of iron, but just iron and copper. So steel is the first alloy you're generally going to make, and it's comprised of a 3-to-1 ratio of iron to coal. And this is going to take a while, so I'm going to change the recipe so I don't forget about it. And I'll just throw the rest of the copper in there. Turn this off to save the extra 5 kilowatts. Everything is looking good on this end. How's our battery looking? It's down to medium. So hopefully this will go full. Yep, that was perfect. Perfect timing. I'll swap that over. That way we're not wasting any power. Alright, so if that's the case, what we are going to need to do is go and mine some ices. So I will take you with me for that run. Let's close some of this stuff down that we don't need. Get our mining drill out. Turn on the drill. So there's 2 ices we need in particular. We need, there's a pinkish ice. Oh, there's some of the road flares. This one here. This is volatile ice. So this is comprised of hydrogen when it's melted. Turns into hydrogen gas. And we don't actually need a great deal of it, so I'll probably just leave it at that. The next one we need is oxide, which is a deeper blue. Yeah, this one here. Now this one is comprised mainly of oxygen, but it has a little bit of nitrogen in it as well. And what we're going to do is we're going to mix these together at a 2-to-1 ratio. I might just try to uncover this so I can find it again later on. That looks good. Yeah, so we're going to mix those at a 2-to-1 ratio. 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen. Then we're going to put that in a furnace and we're going to ignite it, which is going to create a combustion, and that'll give us pressure and heat so we can make alloys. When I first discovered the furnace and the way it makes alloys and stuff, it just honestly it confused the absolute hell out of me. But now that I'm a little bit used to it and I kind of understand it, I really enjoy the mechanic. I think it's really fun. So there's a bunch of different alloys to make, and they all require like a certain temperature and a certain pressure to make them, which is very cool. And if you mess it up, what you get out the end is not your pure ores. You'll get a reagent, just a general mix of both of those alloys that are unusable, and you need to run them through a centrifuge to get the proper materials back out of it, which is very cool. Well, it's not cool. I mean, you screwed up, but I think it's a very cool mechanic. Do I have any more frames? They're probably in your inventory, Timmy. Yeah, you're an idiot. All right. Where are we gonna set this up? Let's go, sure, let's go there. I'm pretty sure the furnace can actually float. Yeah, it just attaches to the world grid. Let's make it, sure, let's do that. And then for this, what I'm actually going to do is just go into the settings and enable extended tooltips, because I forget what it takes to make this. Oh, that's right, I need a wrench and 2 iron sheets. So let's do that, and we will swap over to the tool belt. Where's our wrench? There she is. And then we need a welding torch and iron sheets. Beautiful. It's upside down, you dickhead. All right, angle grinder time. This is the reason why I turn off the extended tooltips. Because I don't... It's far too intrusive. I'd like to know what tool I need to make it and that type of thing. I don't need to see the rotation buttons. There we go. This might be perfect timing, because it is coming into sunset, which is a perfect time for smelting. Because if we grab the ices out of our mining belt right now, because there's still a warm temperature here, they will just instantly evaporate into the air. But if we wait for nighttime, we'll be able to pull the ices out and play with them and get the ratio correct and put them in the furnace without losing them all. So now that that's constructed, let's switch over to the mining belt and we'll open that up. We'll wait for the temperature to go down because it's still 2 degrees, 1 degree Celsius at the moment. We'll turn the auto lathe off to save some power. Batteries look good over there. I'm happy with that. Oh, actually, we're gonna have some temperature left. So after we smelt this, I know we're gonna have a little bit more to play with. We could probably do some mining. Do some smelting with some basic minerals, so just like straight gold or straight copper or something like that. Now gold is a really good one to do because it takes so long to do it in the arc furnace, whereas copper and iron are fairly quick in the arc furnace. So we might try and do maybe maybe 100. Did I just... There we go. -45. Surely that's going to be good enough. Let's put it in our hand and we'll see if it disappears. Nah, looks good. Okay, so I'm going to press R to bring up the options, which opens up a little menu here, and I can actually split the stack that I've got. So I'm going to press F twice on that and break off 2 chunks of ice. Put the others back. Actually, I'll just put those in there so I can do this one as well. So we just need 1 of the oxides. And then I'm just going to put that in there. And then we're going to activate it to melt it. And then what we're going to do is put the volatiles in there, and we're going to activate this. It'll create combustion. And then we got 2.7 megapascals of pressure and a decent temperature there of 1.5 thousand Kelvin. So as you put ingredients in, it's got to process it, so it takes a little bit of time, and as you put material in, it creates more pressure as well, so that can throw, well, it threw me off. Now as this last set gets processed, it should say, there we go, it will produce 200 grams of steel. I wanted to do that quickly. Now while we still have a little bit of temperature, I want to see if we can get this gold. It's got to stay above 600 Kelvin. So see if we can get 100. There we go. We got it. And we can close that up. We could probably do a little bit more. We could probably do some copper. See if we can do some silver. I'm not sure if it'll let us. Yeah, it looks like it's going to. Now, silver isn't used a great deal, not raw anyway. It's mixed with other elements to make alloys, but it's still useful just to have a little bit anyway. And I think we're just going to leave that. Now we're up to nearly 6 megapascals of pressure in there, so we will need to vent this out to be able to reuse it, but I'm just going to leave it there for now. Okay, so we're finished with our smelting. What did we need the steel for? We needed it for a battery, that's right. And actually, I'm just going to drop that down there because I know there's, oops. No, there's not much use for it just yet. Okay. Copper. I should have done the copper. Do we still have temperature in here? No, just dropped below 600. Damn. I'm pretty sure it is 600 for copper. Let's get the tablet out. And in here, one of these boxes, there should be an e-reader cartridge. There it is there. So if I press R on the tablet to bring up the options, I'll be able to put that cartridge in there. Go back to it and turn it on. And this is basically all the recipes and what temperatures they need and all that type of thing. So copper needs a pressure in between 100 kilopascals and 100 megapascals. Temperature needs to be between 600 and 100,000 Kelvin. So we just missed it, just missed the window. All right, that's fine. We'll put the tablet away. And we will just have to smelt this the old-fashioned way. You need to be careful with the welder as well. You can actually burn your cables and stuff. Like, yeah, if you accidentally weld the wrong thing, it can cause you quite a number of problems. Another little cool little mechanic in the game. Such a shame. We could probably get that up to temperature again by just putting a little bit more volatiles in there or something. But I'm not sure how much pressure the furnace is capable of holding, and putting more ice in there is going to create more gases. I don't want to risk blowing up our tiny little starter base just for right now. Later on, we might do some tests. Okay, copper is done. Let's build a battery. Just in time too. Oh, we're gonna need some cables and some heavy cables as well. No, don't build another one. Because they're pretty expensive. 20 gold, 20 copper, and 20 steel. Cables. Let's just make the regular ones first. And we'll place this battery down. Yeah. Let's go with, sure, let's go there. And let's make some heavy cables as well. I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but the heavy cables are able to transfer, I think it's 100 kilowatts. And these big batteries, you know, they have a lot higher output, obviously. So in some circumstances, you really need the heavy cables. As well as that, the heavy cables are actually able to withstand really high temperatures as well, as opposed to these, which burn quite easily. The heavy cables are a bit more expensive though, because they require gold as well as copper. Okay, I'm sure that is going to be fine. And I am actually going to swap our battery, seeing as this one is full. And I think we need some food, don't we? We are chewing through those bloody cereal bars. I'm a little bit behind on the pace, I think. All right, so let's get these cables. We don't need the heavy cables here just yet. So I'm just gonna grab my wire cutters in the offhand for starters. I'm just gonna splice into this existing wire here. Oh, actually, we don't want that going around there anymore. That'll be fine. All right, let's swap over to the heavy cables. And what we want to do is, actually, I probably want to move this back further. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I believe it is, oh, not that. Yeah, it's the hand drill. Probably want to go back to around there. And basically we want to go straight into this, I think. Oh, we do have another one. Let's give ourselves a little bit of room here, just for future projects. Okay. Grab our crowbar out and we'll open this up. Turn it on. Oh, this needs to be on, you dickhead. Oh, and we blew the wires already. Because it was trying to route too much power. So ideally we want this to bypass this setup here. We do. We want it to bypass and go straight into the battery, and then from the battery it comes back into that system. So let's get rid of this. And I'm gonna do this with heavy cables, because I know in the future we are definitely going to want to heavy cable this anyway, because we're going to have that much input that the small cables aren't going to be able to handle it anyway. So let's just bite the bullet and do it now, and should be good to go. Now, I don't believe that actually works. I don't think that connects up, does it? We can check it though. If we grab the tablet out, the trusty tablet has all the answers. Open up the cartridge slot. There is a cartridge in here called Network Analyzer. Fuck knows where it is. Advanced airlock. Seriously, where's my network analyzer? Is that it? I've left it on the ground, haven't I? Yep. Alright, so we'll swap those over. Turn it on. And now if we point this at a cable, it does work. Interesting. I should probably speed this up a little bit. Just like that. And I'm gonna dismantle this. Put some of these tools away. Pick those up. I can pick that up. Throw that in there for now. Okay, so we want to think, Timmy. What do you need to do? You need to grab the drill so you can dismantle that. And now we want this to go that way. So open it up. And ideally we would want a battery in here. Turn that on. Let's grab the wire cutters and we will be able to link this up. Okay, there we go. So at least our logic is working now, except for up here. Is everything else okay? Yeah, it looks all right. All right, so we don't need to worry about doing heavy cables here because from this area power controller, or basically, none of this stuff is going to go over 5 kilowatts. So yeah, we're fine. There's another thing you can use, which is a transformer, and that like specifically limits the amount of power that can transfer through it. So that way, even if you have lots of machinery that overdraws, the only thing that will happen is you'll get a brownout, rather than actually blowing cables and causing a blackout. All right, so that's being charged very quickly from this little bit of charge we got in the battery. That's good. Let's turn this off and have a think about our next step. We at this point here, we've pretty much got power sorted. The next step is going to be food. But I just want to make sure that we have enough power for all the new machinery we're going to be adding to handle atmospherics, so we can actually start a hydroponics. Let's move this battery charger out of the way, possibly to down here. Oh, I didn't. God damn it. I thought it was going to cost me an extra one to make that a four-way junction, but it didn't. All right, well, whatever. That's good. Okay, so we could potentially, we could close this up for sure. We don't need to see this one. This is our only large battery, so I'd like to keep it in here, I think. This actually requires 10 watts if you turn it on, even if the batteries are fully charged in there. So keep that in mind. So it looks like the only thing we're powering at the moment is those things there, which is fine. All right, let's get this fully up and running. Let's grab the valves as well. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to create a pipe network back here connected to the output. This is the output of the furnace. Now there's, as far as I can tell, there isn't a barrier here. So by adding this pipe onto the end, we're essentially creating more volume for the furnace to fill up. And we can probably test that by just, yeah, it's already gone down to 3 just by adding those pipes on. Yeah, definitely. So what I'm thinking is we put a valve here, or actually it won't be able to go there. It'll have to be the next block. And we need wrenches to disable these or deconstruct these. Yeah, so they can't go there. They need to have a pipe, like just a generic pipe next to them. Let's put the valve there. So at least that way, if we close that, only this extra tube here is creating extra volume there. And the reason why I'm worried about that is I think that's going to dramatically change the pressure and temperature that we get in the furnace when we activate it. And the reason why we want the really long tube out here is because when we vent this, it's going to be very, very hot, and we don't want that gas around us. So I did want to use a passive vent. Passive vents don't require any power, and basically all they do is just try to equalize the pressures inside the tube with the atmosphere, which in our case would work okay, but we would need a volume pump as well to pump everything out so we can get actual vacuum inside here. Because remember, if we have any sort of atmosphere, like any sort of temperature in there, as soon as we add the ices, they'll spontaneously combust, and that's going to be bad for us. So it's better to vacuum it. But we won't be able to do those until we build a hydraulic pipe bender, because that's where all the atmospheric stuff is. So for right now, this will do, but we have to come over here to turn it on right next to the gases. What are we down to? 2.7. All right. So let's have a look at this. We should be able to get this to vacuum. Oh, that's the network analyzer. Let's get the atmospheric, yes, the Atmo analyzer. Can we put that? No, that's not going to go in there, is it? We need to open up the options for it and put it in there like that. There we go. So there's the atmosphere. We've got 95% carbon dioxide, 3% nitrogen, 1% oxygen, and 1% X, which is I think it's called pollutants in the game, and I think it's modeled on chlorine. I think, don't quote me on that, but I think that's what it is. So what do we got in this pipe? It's actually quite, oh, that's because it's not on. That is the on button, right? Yeah. my god. Oh, I just realized what I've done. Yeah, this hole here, I've jammed the cables into where the atmosphere is meant to go. God damn it, that's fine. That the cable can stay there. It's this that needs to move. Oh my god, I'm such an idiot. There we go. Oh, I can't believe that. All right, let's turn this on and back away. Yeah, there you go. You can see it venting. If I get closer, temperature's fine. Whoa, there it is. Yeah, 134 degrees Celsius. Yeah, it got pretty warm. Anyway, we were checking the pressure, right? This should go to vacuum. Yep, pipe network 2 is empty. So if we turn this valve on, we'll be able to empty all of that. We've got, there's nitrous oxide in there as well. And hydrogen. All these gases that we should really, ideally be keeping stored. But yeah, we don't have that set up just yet. I've pretty much wasted all of today. What I'm gonna do is, for the rest of this episode, I'm gonna take you guys around and we're gonna get a bunch of different types of ores just so you guys see them once, and then from that point there, I'm not gonna show mining anymore at all, because I think it's a boring part of the game. Power low, we can fix that with our fully charged battery that I should have been keeping on top of. Okay, so the ores that we're gonna need. We are gonna need some nickel, lead. Wait, is that it? I think that might be it. Now, I did remember seeing this on my mining run, so that's how I knew to come here to get it. There are rarities with the ores, so nickel is fairly rare. Lead seems to be the most rare in my opinion. There is uranium, but it's not used for anything in the game currently. So there's no point mining it, obviously. And from what I can see, the rarer the ore, the more ore you get for each node that you mine. So if we have a look, what are we up to? We're already up to 95 nickel. If I get this piece here. That was 5. Okay. I thought, I swear it's been higher than that. Yeah, that one there was 9. And I've noticed with the iron and copper, like things that are really common, you find them everywhere, they're really, really low. Like you might get 2 or 3. But because they're everywhere, it doesn't really matter. So it's nice to see that even though these are really rare, at least when you do find them, you actually get a decent amount from them. So nickel's going to be used mainly in alloys. We're going to create Invar and Constantin from it. And we can smelt it by itself as well into its... I don't know what you would call it, just like raw element. But it's not used a great deal in that form. It's mainly used for alloys. All right, so the next thing we need is lead, and lead is always such a bitch to find. Oh, silicon. Silicon. That's silicon, right? Yes. So silicon's used to make glass and plastic, and it is used in other things like some electronics, but not a great deal. Not as much as you would think. And I always get confused. Sometimes the silicon looks like raw ice, water ice, not oxide or volatiles. There's another type of ice which gives you water, and it's quite light in color, like this, like silicon. And I always get confused between the two. All right, screw that. Silicon's going to be easy to find. Ah, damn it, I've wasted it. Wasted the light. I needed lead. Okay, well, I can tell you what it looks like. If you remember what nickel looked like, where we mined that batch, it has the exact same texture, same shape, only it's black rather than the reddish tinge that nickel had. So in between episodes, I'm going to mine a bunch more of these resources because I don't want to have to do any mining for a while. I want to be able to just have the materials ready so we can get on with the fun projects like automation and blowing our base up accidentally and, you know, the fun stuff. So I hope you enjoyed this, guys. As always, don't forget to lead your targets, and I will see you next time.